Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. Got another jewel for you. Here, I've always talked about, business and what you have to do. You want to be your own boss. Well, I have a young man here went through a lot of problems, health problems, but he still was able to develop a business here in Prince George County. This young man had a stroke. He had hit by a car. But still, this didn't stop him from getting involved in, hey, what do you call it, pressure washer or sure shot? You've heard of both, pressure washer and sure shot. But this young man here, Mr. Andre Spelder, now he took his family and he began to work here in Prince George County. And things that you need, he has something that everybody out there will need sometime if you have a roof on your house. Mr. Speller,
yes, sir.
Welcome to the Ed Brown Show.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
I am off camera. I just admire the just how you got involved in business and all of that. And you had a stroke and you had a car accident, but you were determined that you were going to get involved into the business world. Tell us a little bit about how you got started and the fact that you have your sons being indoctrinated in it. And then give us something about Sure Shot, the type of things that people out there need sooner or later.
Sooner or later. Yeah, well, I started in 2000, and it was an ideal from my brother, and I started working for him. And we both knew nothing about the business. So I went out and trained with gentlemen, and from that point, I took off. Once he teach me something, I just ran with it. And I just learned step by step, trial and error. And
when you say Sure Shot, you're talking about flash, what do they call it, flash washing. A lot of people have mold, the roof streaks on it, and the siding and things. I think everybody out there has that. I know I had the problem.
Yes, sir.
Sooner or later, the mold comes in the streaks on the roof and things like that. Just give us a little background. Some people don't realize that they don't need to replace those things. They can have them washed.
Have them washed.
Okay, tell us.
Well, what happens is, over time, you get the sunny side and you have a shady side of your house. And wherever there's moisture, mold grows. So that's what creates the green side of the house. So it's normally the north side of the house gets green.
What about the streaks on the roof?
Well, the streaks in the roof come from moisture as well. And back in the day, they had zinc in the shingles, and you didn't get that normally. But now, manufacturers are looking for cheaper ways to make materials, and they took the zinc out the shingles.
So zinc is the thing that's missing that gives the people the streaks on the roof.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
hit
the nail on the head.
And you take care of those things. You take care of the mold on the siding, on the building.
Yes.
And it doesn't make any difference about the whether it's brick or siding or what.
Siding or aluminum siding, painted, whatever, stucco as well. We've done some churches. We've done Reed Temple. They had all mold all the way around their church, and we took care of that for them as well. And then on the roof, you use low pressure. There's a lot of people are concerned about damaging the roof.
Right.
But in the past 15 years, I've damaged nobody's roof, and it just comes from experience and just taking your time and being careful.
And actually, it's no preventable thing for that at roof streaks.
Yes, it is. Yes,
okay.
it is.
Now, tell us a little bit about that you've experienced.
Well, what you can do at the roofing store, they have these zinc strips. They're a piece of metal that you can sit on top of the roof, and then when it rains, it runs across it. And then
a zinc strip, you call it?
Zinc.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, zinc. Yeah, it's a piece of metal with zinc in it, and then when it rains, and then it prevents the mold from growing.
So you're talking about chemistry here. That's what I'm about. I'm a chemist. That the fact that the zinc and the mold don't like each other.
It won't show up. And then there's another trick you can do, and to save a whole lot of money. If you get a roll of pennies and put it on top of the roof, you take a silicone and
well, that's copper. Pennies, you say?
Copper. And you put it across the roof in the rain, never get mold streaks on the roof either. It does the same thing.
And
It prevents the mold from coming because there's something about the copper, and when it rains and it runs down the roof, then it prevents the streaks, just like zinc.
That's on any surface, you know, whether it's brick or siding or what?
That would be mainly for roofs.
Roof?
Yeah, there's no way to really prevent it from the siding unless you, it would have to be, you know, no moisture. And you're going to get moisture. If you don't get the sunlight, you're going to get moisture, you're going to get mold. Now, you can prevent it for a period of time, and most of the time, when I clean the house, it's from 2 to 3 years. Then you might need it again if it's done properly. And a lot of people use just cold water to clean the house. I use a chemical to kill the mold.
Which is a secret, right?
Yeah, there you go. And I use hot water. And a detergent. So I use a combination of things to work.
Which is your way of doing it.
That's my way of doing it.
Right.
So when I'm done, you don't have to see me for 2-3 years, and you'll be very pleased with the work. I guarantee you all my work.
Now,
Yes,
tell us a little bit about the fact that you had this stroke and how you got into the business. And I can't believe, and then a car accident, and then your brother. You work for your brother.
I work for my brother. Yes,
decide
sir.
to start your
My
own
own
business.
business, yes.
And then what's most important, you're training your sons into it.
And so they can take it and run with it.
Right. But tell us about that.
Well, I just thought about it, and I said, well, I'd rather to help a family member and let them know how it is you can be your own boss, and you can work, and you can be successful. I'm successful, and I'm saying I'm not doing nothing that anybody else can't do. So I shared it with them, and I've shared it with other people too. I've started probably 3-4 other big people in business to do the same thing I do. Brothers.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And the fact that the training that and there's a need because everyone out there has a home or a building or something. You know?
We do commercial work as well.
And there's always maintenance.
Always maintenance.
No matter what it is,
there's
always. Yeah. But the fact that you were able, how did you recover from the stroke and really, recovering from the stroke, then get involved in that? There's a lot of physical work involved there.
Yes. Well, determination. And my sons picked up the business where I left off. When I had the stroke, the sons jumped right in and took right over. And I just stayed home and recovered and went to rehab and, it just took time. And basically they did the work. So I trained them well up until that point, and then they just took it.
So what do you think, a lot of youngsters, a lot of people out there don't have jobs and things like that. And I stress getting involved in the business world. And I'm really excited. You can tell before we talked off camera is that you were able to, through all the problems that you had, you were able to maintain a business. What does it take, for these youngsters out here to realize that, well, you don't have to have a PhD. You know what I mean?
It takes sacrifice and willing to learn.
Right, that you can really start your own business. So the things that you went through, and you're successful, and how would they themselves get involved in a business, and what does it take?
Sacrifice, determination, and you have to be willing to learn. And you have to just be able to humble yourself and find somebody that might be doing something you like, and then follow them and learn what they're doing, and then apply it to yourself, and then you can grow. But you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be able to crawl before you walk, as they say. I just knew that there's nobody gonna give me nothing. So with that kind of mind, you have to change your mindset, because no one's gonna give you nothing. You have to work hard. And if somebody see that you work hard, you don't know who's watching you, they want to give you an opportunity. So you just have to always have pride in yourself and do the best you can always, and not looking for saying someone owes you something. Yeah, it's easy. No, it's going to be hard. It's going to be days you don't make no money.
Yeah, because and you have experienced that. And what did it take, to like I say, stay in business?
Ooh, man, I don't know.
Because they're all businesses. Even I was talking about the I was talking about the beer people. You know, they
Yes,
just
sir.
merged with Miller Lite and
Yes.
Budweiser. They're continually improving their product. And the same thing with you. I'm sure that the problems that you've had, that you're doing research in to actually improve the service that you're giving.
Yes. Well, that goes with, everyday experience. And something work, don't work. And then I just take pride in what I do. You have to take pride in your work.
Well, we have some of the illustrations here, that is going to be flashing on the screen of some of the work that you've done. How did you come up with the name Sure Shot?
Well,
That's sketchy.
yeah. Well, it's a spinoff from my brother. He started Hot Shot. So, and I'm working with him, and we kind of
What do you call it before?
Hot Shot.
Hot Shot.
So he came up with the name Hot Shot. I can't take credit for that. And so I was using the name, and then we kind of separated, and he was still running his own business, and I was doing my thing. But I see that he had people working for him, and I said, well, if I'm going to make a name for myself, I have to use my own name. And so I changed my name to Sure Shot, because I'm a sure shot.
Yeah,
I'm sure if you get me to do the work, you're going to be very pleased.
Well, that's catchy. Now, what are some of the preventive things that homeowners, everybody out there, if they don't live in a home, they own a home, or they have maintenance? Maintenance to a home, that's one of the things that really costs a lot of money. But as far as what are some of the things that you would give people advice in buying a house if they don't want the mold and most people don't think in terms of that, whether it's north or south or this window or what. They just buy the house. Maybe they want the sun or the shady, because more shade you have, the more moss you're going to get.
More moss you're going to get. So you got to, when you get ready to purchase that house, you got to look at them trees. And if you have a lot of trees in your yard, then you're going to have a lot of moisture. Because, no sunlight can get through.
Right.
So then it's going to cause the mold. But another thing that they need to know is about keeping their gutters clean, because that can cause water damage. I've seen that a lot. A lot of people don't neglect their gutters. They need to be cleaned at least twice a year. At least twice a year.
Well, they have these different things,
Gutter guards.
Gutter guard and stuff like that.
And some work, some don't.
And and really you have no idea what would work in your particular situation.
Yeah, that's
till
true.
someone looks at it.
Yeah, and then the ones that do work cost so much money. So then you have to weigh it and say, well, is it worth it just to have someone come clean it, or do I spend $7,000 to get my gutters replaced? So it just depends on a person's wallet.
But most people, when they purchase a house, they don't think of the north and the south.
Yes.
And the material. What material has less chances of developing mold? Would you say?
Brick.
Yeah. So
If you really don't brick, I don't see it as much as I do on vinyl siding. You're going to get it on aluminum siding, vinyl siding, and stucco. Brick is the last one that it has to be a lot, and it's a long time for brick. You can clean brick and it might last you 5 to 10 years. Where you clean siding, it's 2-3 years. So,
but there's still repercussions. I mean, although you have it clean one time, that doesn't mean that you don't have to have it clean anymore.
Oh no, it's coming back.
It's coming back. No matter what chemical you use, that mold still.
It's coming back. And let me share this with the people. When you have that mold on the side of your house, I've done seen it and seen people just let it go for years. It eventually gets in the house. It's in the air because it goes up in the side.
Okay, well, repeat that again. You said
if you leave that mold on the side of your house for years and it just keeps building, it gets airborne. It goes in the house. Through the side, right through the side, no problem.
Right through the side.
right through the siding because it grows. It goes in, and it's a microorganism, and that it's just airborne. It can come right in.
Oh, it's airborne.
Oh yeah, that mold is a beast. It can go
Oh,
where it
I
want to
see.
go. Just grows where it want to go. Where you got moisture, you got mold. It's just like in the bathroom. It gets in a tile and the grout, and it's hard to get out because it's in there. And the same thing with
on the
on
roof,
the side.
on the roof, because most people they find out they start getting streaks on their roof, and they think that
They
the
got to
tile is
replace it.
going bad.
Yeah, and they got to
Yeah.
replace it, and it still got another 10 or 20 years on the roof. It just needs to be clean, low pressure clean. They have several safe chemicals that you can use on the roof to clean it. That's environmentally friendly.
Environmental friendly.
That's what I try to use. A lot of environmentally friendly products, so I don't damage the grass. I don't damage, the environment.
And that's important too.
Yes.
Is a lot of people don't realize is that if it's done improperly, then it's going to damage the lawn.
Oh, damage the lawn and the bushes. Yes, sir.
So they got to make sure that those things are.
And then whoever's doing it know what they're doing. Just research the person. Like I'm on Angie's List. And Angie's List is where people go to.
Angie's List, yeah, I've heard of Angie's List.
I'm on Angie's List.
My wife uses it.
See,
Right.
and then I cannot put any comments on there. All the comments come from the people that you do the work for. And so you got to try to strive to have a good rating, because if you don't, then no one's going to use you.
Right.
Because they know that you can't go and alter the comments on Angie's List.
But preventative things like that, some people don't realize, once they get a new house or either an older house or something, that that's one maintenance that has to be continuous. Because the siding is not going to stay white all the time, especially if it's on the wrong side of the house.
Right, north side.
Because it's situations I've seen where three sides of the house, perfect.
Yes, sir.
Then one side,
Totally
mold.
green.
Yeah, the mold is on the other side, and they weren't sure. Was the siding going bad on that side of the house or what it was? But it's basic moisture. Have they done any research and making it so that moisture, the siding have to be put up so that it breathes, right? I mean, they can't make it airtight.
No, it's got weeping holes for moisture to drip out and stuff like that. But they do have a chemical that you can apply to the siding to retard the mold, so it doesn't come back as fast. But there's no guarantee where it's not going to come back, ever come back. But you can put something on the house to try to retard it from coming.
And the best time to do that is when? Not when the mold appears. When the mold appears, it's too late.
Well, it depends on the customer. It depends on if they want to go into the springtime when they want to go into the summer with a fresh house, or they got the holiday time, fall time, where they're going into Christmas and Thanksgiving. They might want to go through those months with a nice clean house after they can put the lights up and stuff like that. So it's all about curb appeal at the time.
But maintenance is the key.
Yes.
And the recommendation is to maybe every 4 or 5 years, whether you need it or not, to get it done. Yeah, because it's there, but it really doesn't make, that mold doesn't make an appearance until the spring of the year.
Yes.
During the winter you have to worry about it, but the spring of the year,
that rain, yes.
The spring of the year, that's when mold grows the best.
Yes. You got the combination of the rain, and then you got the sunshine, and it's just a combination of things, and it's warm. You got humidity in the air.
Got humidity.
Yeah, the humidity in the air leaves moisture on the side, and in the morning time you got that morning dew. The siding is wet then. You get that morning dew. So definitely it's the key.
And see, people have to be very careful because, like you say, it may kill the mold and also the plants and the grass too, if it's too strong.
Yes.
Now, what about the strength that they use? Does it depend on the problem of the mold, or how do you determine that?
Well, I'm consistent with my dilution ratio. It's 20 to 1. I do 20 parts of water and 1 part of the chemical, and then I rinse with just pure water.
That's your method there.
Yes, and it's hot, and so I'm getting a hot water.
And well, what is the temperature? Would you say
About 160, 170.
160, 170?
Yes, sir.
In order that will kill the mold.
Kills everything. That helps everything brighten up and clean a lot. More efficient. You're more efficient with the hot water. It can be done with cold water, but it takes a little bit longer. But the hot water is more efficient. I like the way it reacts, and it's gone. Definitely.
I see. Now, with the all the house building in the areas, can a person, for instance, if they purchasing a house or something, can they make it mold proof? You know, they put the siding up and then they, or the building, whatever it is, and they spray it, you know, just like
no, there's nothing I didn't know that you can prevent it. There's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no there's no preventive maintenance. The only way to prevent it is to maintain your house by washing it when you feel like it's coming back.
And what is your recommendation for washing your house?
I would wash my house every 2 years.
Every two years?
Every 2 years. And then you got to consider the price. And then the look of your house. You might go 3 years or 4 years. It just depends on how you feel. I do my house every 2 years.
Oh, every 2 years. And then, just like I say, I've seen areas where maybe only one side of the house is affected by the mold.
Then you only do that one side.
You only do that one side. So whatever, and what side has
the north side?
The north side. The north side.
Yes, sir.
That's the area. If your house faced the north side, your tendency
to get the green.
So all of you people out there go buy a house, make sure it doesn't face the north side. Make sure you have the sunny side.
Yes, sir. And a lot of people are fooled to think that the mold, the green stuff on the side of the house is coming from the trees. It's not coming from the trees.
It's not from the trees.
It only comes from moisture. That's where the mold comes
But the trees cause the moisture, right?
Because it blocks the sun.
It blocks the sun, right.
Right, and then the positioning of the house as well. But they think because of the trees and near the water, none of that plays a part. Only thing that causes mold is moisture.
It's moisture.
It's moisture. And if you have sun, it dries it up, you won't see no mold. But if you just have continuous moisture, you're going to get mold. And that's how it works.
But it's a wonder that I guess the water and the chemical is a deterrent there. That it's repetitive, but the condition is the thing that your house don't move. So
don't move. So if you get it washed in the wintertime, it's more than likely it's still going to look the same in the summertime because your house doesn't move.
Right.
Not unless you're on a busy street and you got a lot of dust. Then more so, yeah, it might get a little dusty. But other than that, if you get the mold cleaned at any point in time during the year.
That's maintenance. And a lot of people don't look at, they look more like it's something, you know, that they might, just for clarity, you know, it's not, but having your home washed is just like having your what do you call it, your furnace and all that checked.
Yes, and your chimney checked.
And your chimney checked and things like that.
Right.
What people have a tendency not to do unless the chimney is falling down or either there's mold on it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But can you actually look at a home and say, well, you're gonna have mold soon, you know?
Of course. I've run into a lot of customers where they just thought it was one side of the house. I said, well, if I spot clean this house, I walk them closely and show them the different areas that they just normally just walk up and don't pay it no mind, because you really can't see it until it's shown to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How long does it take,
To do what?
to determine that whether it's needed? I mean, you don't wait till it gets real dark. You can't see it. It's obvious that it's needed.
Well, it would be a person that pays attention to their home and understand what's dirty and what's not. Some people don't understand that.
Now, the amazing thing I liked about it, your sons are involved in your business. How did
Yes,
you
sir.
get them involved in it? And then we want to wrap it up. And,
Okay, yes, sir.
And tell people, the best way to maintain their home is to have that done regularly. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I got my sons involved in the business to show them a sense of independency and that they can do what I'm doing, and they can make a life. They can make a life for themselves. They don't have to work for anybody. And where they want to go with it is where they take it.
Okay.
And they don't have to work hard.
Well, I'd like to congratulate you, on your business and
Yes, sir.
everything, and getting young people involved is so important. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have Mrs. Richmond. She's going to tell us what's coming up in Ed Brown in the next month. See you next time.
Good afternoon. This is Kamari T. Richmond, and we're going to talk about next week's guest on the award-winning Ed Brown Show. We'll be talking to Opal Moore, and Opal is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated of Washington, D.C., and she is going to work on an event where she is a partnership with the Coalition of Stronger Communities. And this organization is wonderful. They were established in 1995, I believe. And the event they're going to talk about is they're promoting community strength. They're talking about academics. They're talking about social growth. So tune in to next week's show.
Hi, we're back. And what we're going to do, I was going to ask Mr. Andre here about a mentoring program. With what requirement, what are the requirements to actually be in your employment? Do you have a mentoring? Because there's so many young men out there, that don't have jobs. And if you had a mentoring program, that actually what you could do is possibly work with the schools,
Yes.
Like the community college or something like that. What do you think of that idea?
Well, that sounds like a great idea, and I'd be willing to help anyone that's interested, from maybe ages 17 on up. Someone that has license, that they can get out in the field and move around.
17 and up.
17 and up.
All right. So what they can do is contact, and actually the mentoring program would be something like a learning program. In other words, you would be teaching, and it give them opportunity. They can think in terms of business.
Business, yes, sir.
So could you willing to set up a program like that?
Yes, sir. No
Okay.
problem. I'm willing to help anyone that wants to help themselves. And
Good.
I will guide them in the right direction. All they have to do is listen, and they'll get a lot from it. I will show them.
Possibly you could make contact with the community college or something like that,
Yes.
and they could sort of, in fact, you check with the president there and tell her that Ed Brown, he is a businessman who's willing to mentor young men into the business that he's in, and be willing to train them. You know what I mean? And possibly if they do that, see you next time.